Alright, hey guys, Fitz back here for another game here. So this is going to be game number 2, series number 2 of the semifinals between SAS and Reps here. And whoever wins this match of SAS versus Reps, they'll lock for that in a second here, and his opponent will be the blue Protoss. It'll be SAS.LocDog here, and spawning down here. If you were wondering, back in Brood War, where spectators, what I'm trying to say is, like, some maps don't have obs modes, and sometimes it just circumstances don't allow for an obs map to be played. So in order to do this old school way to actually view this, even Korean back in the early Pro League days, people did this before the obs maps were out, where the obs would be Terran. They would lift off, kill off all their SCVs, and then just lift off the command center, and then both players just show viewing, and then they can just spectate. They don't get to see like what the players are building versus like the benefit of actually seeing like when you're actually doing replay mode. But there's actually a plugin with Chaos Launcher, and just a plugin anyway to or a hack rather for Brood War to see that while you're actually ops moding. But it's just there's that. That's what I was just trying to tell you. And talking about last game though, what we saw Dewalt really did, he's kind of just really anticipated what LocDog was doing. It's like, well, if you can't scout, you're probably gonna tech to robo and then get, obs. I mean, of course there could have been other readings out of that, but he had the right reading. He decided to fork it because his opponent couldn't figure that out, and ultimately just overran his opponent. LocDog really showed really lackluster play last game, and I hope he plays a little bit better this game. We shall see though, but it looks like it's going to be standard, a little bit more tech involved. I mean, there's obviously going to be aggression both these players here, and I think it's a smart move. I think LocDog would definitely wants to play a more macro style, and I think there's two readings and the reason why loser picks map. Remember, and I think there's kind of two readings that go into choosing Fighting Spirit, because one, it's such a huge map, and sure, he didn't get cross positions, which would probably be ideal for LocDog. I mean, under the circumstances that he would want to play a macro game. But what we saw here though is that it's vertical spawn, so I mean, again, it's still a big map. So what this allows him to do is allows him to give him more reaction timing if he can't scout when a push is coming. Number two, it allows him to get up an expansion. There's two readings in that, so it's an ideal situation for LocDog. Of the readings that he went off last game, is like, well, I'm gonna go play a lot of macro style. That map is more like a medium-sized map. You can definitely do a macro style on Bloody Ridge, but it's not going to be as popular as on Fighting Spirit. But anyway, again, we're seeing Dewalt get a very nice read again, and it's these kind of probe scoutings that really definitely help out. And let me just see here. I don't want to leave LocDog out of this. I don't want to get a misreading on this. Okay, so he has a probe outside the base, yet he's actually yet to scout there. So we'll see if he's actually going to be able to scout at all, if he's just forgotten about this. If he's completely forgotten about this probe here, things are not going to show really strong here. He may just be waiting for like a push to come out, maybe looking for an expansion here. He has put down a second gateway. This is very, very standard PvP stuff. But he will get thrown back, though, with a Dragoon. So he's actually not scouted at any of the main base here, which is definitely going to put the hurt on him. Most definitely here. And oh, he's even going to lose a Dragoon here. This is absolutely devastating. Yeah, I believe he might just be... won't take another hit. Well, I take that back. So he's not even be able to regen those shields. Again, he texts a quick robo. Now what did Dewalt opt to do? It looks like maybe an expansion. I saw an upgrade. Okay, so he's getting, so increased range for both players is literally identical when I looked at those timings. So range should be done, is done for Dewalt and done, just now done for LocDog. So, and I know, where are his gateways? So it looks like, alright, so he's doing actually 2 gate into Robo, but the thing though is that LocDog is actually down a goon right now, which is somewhat of a big deal in such a matchup like this. And he does have the high ground to his advantage here, so let's look at this. LocDog has, you know, 2 zealots, 5 dragoons, and 1 ob, so he can actually scout for this. And I wouldn't be surprised for him to send that down to lower base here versus 6 goons and 2 zealots here. I mean, definitely, again, Dewalt actually has the increased thing. And again, oddly enough, he's going to push down the ramp, which I don't understand. Again, LocDog not really playing really his best of ability here. Now the zealots are going to be able to close the distance between themselves into the dragoons here, which are definitely going to be using their side blades of destruction on these guys. And now that they're even pushing up the ramp here, it looks like he may be able, if he micros correctly, but LocDog's not microing. I don't know if this is just because he doesn't feel like it, or he's just not microing. He is sending down the obs, so it looks like it's held, but I think we're just gonna have like 2 more gates coming down. Well, Robo Reaper Dropper just to push up here, and he's lost, you know, a significant portion of mining time. So they're both going support bay though, so I guess it's just the reactionary follow-up. I don't really know if this is like the high-level play for both players to, when you're in a situation like this, no expansion showing up, as PvP is much of an aggressive matchup, if you will. So we shall see. I mean, I'm not going to say LocDog's out of this, but Dewalt definitely has an advantage here. He does have obs out, though. Now, what does Dewalt see? Now, that will be the interesting thing. What does he know? Well, right now he has a shuttle. He is not getting speed. He doesn't have any upgrades completed from the support bay. And he's still off 2 gates. No expansion coming away. It looks like he actually may follow this up with an expansion behind Reaver Harass, is what I would have to guess. He does have 3 containing dragoons up here. He has not gotten up to the main base yet, at all. I don't think he even has a single obs out yet either, which is, yeah, I think that's just obs tech coming out. Actually, yeah, he went support bay tech before this, but the benefit though is, I believe, what do we think? 6 dragoons, 1 reaver. LocDog's actually not in a bad position here. He does have the obs tech. He has been pushed back here from something, which I wasn't really paying much attention to. Now, let me just swap out both these players' vision. Let's see what's going on right here. Alright, so he does have an obs over here as well. And we'll be seeing that he does have Reaver Tech in the base, but he still has not gotten inside the base though. And that is really going to put him in a not such advantageous position here. He does see the Nexus though. That is important to note here. Shield battery's going down here, so he definitely knows that Dewalt's going to be in more of a defensive state here. Does he push? Does he put down the Nexus? Just gonna follow us up with more of a macro style. I'm surprised by this. I thought both players were just gonna go and follow up with more aggression right here. He's up to 4 gates right here as well, and I believe he doesn't have any upgrades in the support bay as well. So anyway, alright, so let's just go back to full screen mode. I just wanted to see what both players were seeing right here. We do have a shuttle with a Reaver going on here, so it looks like we're gonna see more of a typical Reaver harass coming out of LocDog here. Now, does it work? I don't know. To be completely honest, the problem though is like, this could do like a ton of damage, but I feel like just right now both players are actually just getting Reavers in their armies because they do good DPS here. And what's probably going to happen is I feel like this shuttle's just not going to get away because it doesn't have speed. And because of that, not only has LocDog lost mining time, and not only has he, you know, lost a dragoon in the early game, not only has he, every engagement has just gone into Dewalt's favor. So we'll see here. I mean, ooh, that was a nice one. Oh, it didn't hit that pack. Oh well. But you know, going in and out. But I think now though it's going to be a little bit harder to do that kind of pressure because the Dragoons are going to be near the middle line here. It looks like they're going to go for a counter push after this, after all of that, but leaving him a little more vulnerable to a Reaver drop. But it looks like he has like one or two a goon stationed here. But with proper Reaver micro, you can probably out micro a Dragoon if you continue to pick up. Have it like target fire, aggro onto the Reaver, pick it up, hit one on the shuttle. Like I think you could probably eventually, you know, out micro that. But anyway, here, so we'll be coming in here with a decent amount of Dragoons here. Now let's look at these tabs real quick. 6 Zealots for LocDog, which are non-existent onto Dewalt's side here. 12 Dragoons to 19 Dragoons. 3 Reavers, 2 Reavers, and the other stuff isn't really important. So, you know, with a higher Dragoon count, does it matter? We do have a nice spread here, which is definitely going to make it very difficult for Dewalt to go, engage here. But Dewalt's just going to go around, or maybe just, oh my god, oh, that was 400 mil just lost there, and that was really bum luck for LocDog there. And you know, again, not really great play from him. And again, I'm not trying to back him, dude, but he's just not shown really advanced level play here, and Dewalt's just really kicking his ass right here. And now 2 Reavers are out on their way, and they're going to be able to do a crap ton of DPS to these Zealots right here. Zealots are like really good hard counters Dragoons in high numbers, especially with speed lots out. But it looks like Citadel's just coming up, or is done right here. But while I'm talking about that, we do have an engagement happening over here. But those Reavers are protected. But now they're not. But nice Reaver micro, picking them up, and it looks like, though, oddly enough, LocDog has gotten somewhat better here, but he just did step off a Reaver there. So it's 2 Reavers down to 1 Reaver in this engagement right now, at least. And it looks like he may have to back off the timing, but at the same time, you can't count out Dewalt here, as you know, LocDog has taken damage himself here, and if he continues to reinforce here, he gonna go back, or is he just gonna try to set up a contain here? It looks like we do have a third base about to come up right now. It's 14 Dragoons down to 17. Yeah, LocDog's actually not too behind. All of his Zealots are dead though, so it's 2-2. It's pretty like dead even right now. Actually, but Dewalt though again has 52 probes compared to 38, which is, oh my goodness, that's huge. And it probably explains why they're about dead even in armies. You know, because, well, for one, he's been trying to micro his way back into this, you know. Number 2, he's taking some damage here, and he's trying to cut corners where he can do it. But look at the Dragoons now. Look at that. Look at the Dragoons difference right there. 5 pros have been killed off for LocDog as well. It looks like we had a Reaver drop? I don't think so. Well, we may have. I don't know. Apparently there was some kind of drop play that I just didn't catch, but 5 probes were killed, which is also another big deal. So we are actually seeing 3 bases here, but for LocDog's favor, if he can break out of this contain right now, he will be closer to the 3rd base as well. LocDog's actually expanding behind it. Oh, and this is why, because he's actually brought up around 6 of his Dragoons. He split up his Dragoon numbers. Okay, so never mind. But again, the problem though is he split up his army, which means that we're just gonna see Dewalt just crush this, especially with those Reavers in the back, just going up the ramp, doing their full damage, doing 100 damage. I'm not sure if he got the Reaver, the Scarab upgrade. I highly doubt it though. And I don't know, guys. It looks like he's held this off though. But now the thing is, he can just loop around and maybe just take off or do some damage. There are 2 Reavers here, but is he just gonna try to recommit here? It's really tough to say. It's 89 supply down to 143, so it definitely, the supply leads are definitely going in. And again, that is probably about 20 supply, 30 supply in probes. So that supply difference isn't as big of a deal as you'd think it would be. And by no means like having less probes is like a bad thing, especially with this 3rd base starting to be just starting to be optimized here. That's definitely a big difference in the economy-wise. Now, when that transfers into more gates and like 3 fully saturated bases, I mean, we can look at this. This is 3, 6, 7, 8 gates now, or 7 gates right now, compared to I think 5. No, 6 gates. So I mean, he just has more production in general, and he may have 3 bases, okay? But the problem though is, well, first off, he's not getting 3rd gas. where Dewalt actually has it done, he's just not mining from it. And he's just got better saturation over the course of his 3 bases, much better than what LocDog will have. So in the economy way, Dewalt's way ahead. And I think he's even gonna have an upgrade advantage as well. Let me look at this. No upgrades right now. Oh, compared to +1 though. Whoa, that's nice for LocDog. So LocDog is still like clawing his way back in this game here. He's definitely behind in harvesters. Now again though, this can actually be somewhat of an issue here. Is that 68 or 58? I gotta get closer to my screen for a second. Give me a second, guys. Have a wonder at this army for a second. 68, yeah, 68 to 47 probes. I just had to stand up for a second because I'm actually recording off my TV right here. So, yeah. Okay, so, all right, so we have a 179 supply Protoss versus a 129 supply Protoss, and again, that's about. But now where the harvester's getting a little bit even because, well, Dewalt doesn't actually need any more probes because he's so far ahead. And that's probably about the amount of optimized you really want, at least in this matchup especially. 50 isn't bad either. But again, like, Dewalt's gonna have a crap ton better economy right now. He is mined out his main base where LocDog's still, happily mining for a little while longer. But that I wouldn't be surprised for Dewalt to take a 4th base. Yep, there it is, in the top right. Oh, well, 3 Dragoons were just killed off. And maybe he's checking for that far off 3rd base. 4th base, excuse me, and yeah, he's double expanding here. And with this big army, maybe build similar in upgrades. If he could get these storms off, that's gonna be huge on that army. But again, it comes down to the amount of damage, the cost effectiveness of this army. If he can break through this not terribly, he can try to kill off one. I don't think he can kill off both, as they're so far spread apart. But I don't even think LocDog can break this right now. I think he's contained enough for 2 base right now. 2 base. I'm gonna say this main's gonna be mined in like 30 seconds, and Dewalt's in a very favorable position here. And I think. I'm just trying to. I think it just goes down to the harvesters that were produced in that mid game that gave such an edge over the economy, which just allowed for so many more gates. I mean, again, I wasn't paying so much close attention to that, but even as a Stargate too, I don't know what he'd actually use it for, but Corsair maybe. Do we have a recall up here? He probably just sent them away or something, I don't know. But, like I said, even if he holds this off, which, I mean, possibly, but he can't just keep on sending in these random units here. He does have Zealots, though, which are good, but now we even see the tech switch for Dewalt with speed lots in here. Very just powerful army. 2/2 upgrades are +2 for both players here. I mean, upgrades are insanely insane. 14 are destroyed. LocDog doesn't even GG here. Defi GG's apparently, and Dewalt GG's, but LocDog doesn't even bother to GG. And disappointing play from LocDog. I think he tried his best, but again, it just goes down to the economy again. It's a mere matchup. It just, those small things, you know, losing the early Dragoon in the early game, again, in that earlier engagement, that one more Dragoon probably would have played much more difference. He could have stayed on the ramp. But not only that, LocDog didn't micro in that second engagement on the top of his ramp in the early game, if you remember. And he lost more Dragoons than he needed to be. And he pushed out on the bottom of his ramp. I don't know why he did that. He's contained, but he already has Obstac out, so he can just go to the main base. But I don't even think he even got on the main base that game. If I remember correctly, I don't think he saw that. Again, gateway counts, everything just went in Dewalt's favor. Well played by Dewalt. We did see, he definitely LocDog gave up a good fight. I will definitely say that. I say great job for staying in the game. Good job for sticking with your guts there, but it just wasn't enough. And just wasn't enough, which actually means I believe Reps is up 2-0 right now, which things are not looking good for SAS right now. Who knows though? I mean, we may have just jumped into the two of the series that was potentially very one-sided, and yes, the first series is usually one-sided. This one, LocDog just made crucial mistakes. Very much like what Highly. This is just not one day for LocDog. It can happen. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Shit can happen. But again, in the main story, LocDog showed some disappointing results today. I'm a little disappointed in his play, but still, nothing that you can't improve on. Just better situational awareness, and pretty much all you can do. And just make sure you. I think, like I was saying with Joe Kim yesterday, at this high level of a play, people don't tend to make up macro mistakes. I don't think LocDog just all of a sudden just decided to cut 10 probes because he was like, oh, I just forgot to actually just hotkey and press P on both my next eye. I don't think he did that. I think what he ended up doing was, I think he just couldn't afford it. I think he was like, well, I'm going to cut corners and I'm going to see if I can actually win this. And if he tried to play just straight up continue making probes, he probably would have lost. I mean, he would have just lost earlier on. He tried to come back, maybe try to make a cost-effective engagement happen. It just never worked. Dewalt's too good for that to happen, and like I was saying, I think at this level, it now comes down to those engagements. It now comes down to the micro, and especially in the early game, especially in mirror matchups, it's so important. And I think this is the point where you start working on your micro skills. But the problem, though, is like, now you work on your micro, but then how does that affect your macro? It's a tough thing. I mean, my micro is like really good, but the problem, though, is I don't macro efficiently at all. I have like 10k banked, even though I'm microing all my things around. But does it matter because I'm not producing as much? No, it doesn't matter because I just die anyway. Because it doesn't matter how well you micro your units at that point. You need to have a balance at the point. I think the macro portion of LocDog is great, but to get over this leap to a higher rank to compete well against these players, you need to have the macro and micro capabilities here. I could be wrong. I could just be bullshitting. I don't know. But that's what I think right now, especially what we saw from that game. Guys, then thanks again for watching. Make sure you thumbs up / like our video. Subscribe if you like our videos. I don't see why you wouldn't like to as you're watching Brood or VODs, and they're great anyway. Why you should subscribe is because we actually do like pretty consistent content. Is why I think. And they're organized. But anyway, and comment. Tell me how I'm doing. Tell me what I can improve on. Tell me something that I said the most stupidest crap ever, and then you correct me on it, because then I won't say it again. Yeah, cool. But guys, thanks for watching again. But say it nicely. Say it nicely. All right. So it's actually 0-2 right now, or 2-0 for for reps right now. So we're going to our next series, guys. Thanks for watching again, and peace, guys.